All right, time is running out for Bronx families displaced by that massive fire in Allerton a couple of weeks ago to find a new place to stay.
And local leaders are also battling with Mayor Adams over plans for a migrant shelter in the South Bronx. So here to talk about all of these issues impacting her borough is Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson. So good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Always great to have you here. Can we start right away with
Sure.
this 2,000-bed shelter that's proposed for Bruckner Boulevard? And when did you find out about this proposal?
I found out on January 10th, early morning after the fire on Wallace Avenue. I was at a school site, PS73, with American Red Cross, and I got a call from City Hall about the announcement of closures for the city of New York, Floyd Bennett, Hall Street, Randall's Island, and I said, well, where are the Bronx sites? And I was told about a 2,200-bed migrant facility for single adult men. Because of the closures in the outer boroughs, it was necessary to build a facility of this size to really accommodate the adult migrant population.
How's it been taken, though, by the community?
We are outraged and upset. There was no community notification on the ground. That weekend, many found out through local media outlets, the local community board, the precinct council. There's no plan, and we don't know what the discussions were at City Hall because we were never a part of it. So the decision has been made, and now we're reacting to that because we're frustrated and we want to know what is the plan on public safety, quality of life, security, how are we going to protect the local residents and families and businesses, and how does the administration talk about a reduction in the overall adult migrant population in New York City, but yet construct a facility that's scaled at 2,200. It doesn't make sense to me.
Now, there's word as a public meeting today. Is City Hall sending anyone to that meeting to talk about this?
Yes, we've invited all three deputy mayors, Ann Williams, Isom, Camille, Joseph Varlak, and Tiffany Raspberry, and we did get confirmation last week that one of the deputy mayors will be present before Community Board 1 to talk to the residents. This should have happened months ago.
Yeah, and this is all happening as ICE agents have been going throughout the tri-state area with these mass deportations. What's happening, if anything, in your borough? Have you heard of anything? Any ICE agents going into your borough? So
we've had unconfirmed reports over the weekend where we've heard that ICE agents were doing photo checks and spots along some of our commercial corridors in the Bronx. Nothing confirmed yet, but still the anxiety is out there, and parents are worried about sending their children to school. They're asking about, immigration policies and what their rights are as residents, as citizens. We saw what happened in Newark, New Jersey last week. And so this is even more of a reason why this site should not open, because of the fact that it's going to be a target. If we are to care about a population that is in need, then we have to really look at their needs in a smaller scale. Offer us something. This site is a manufacturing district. How about 2,200 manufacturing jobs for the South Bronx and supporting the 40th precinct? We just want to be a part of these conversations because with the closures, there was nothing closed in the Bronx right now, and there is a plan through June, but we should have been offered that at the onset of this proposal.
When it all began. All right, I want to turn now to public safety. There were 2 stabbings on the subway system just yesterday, one in the Bronx. Concerns are at an all-time high, of course. Have there been conversations with your office and the NYPD about transit safety and more patrols in the Bronx?
Ongoing, and with the governor's plan of deploying more police officers in the transit system, I know a lot of focus will be on some of the major hubs in Manhattan and other parts of the city, but I always remind everyone, don't forget about the Bronx. We have major subway stations as well, the 3rd Avenue hub area, we have Fordham Road, we have major corridors where you have a lot of foot traffic and commuters, and we deserve safety as well. I do understand that this expansion does apply to the Bronx, so we've been talking to Patrol Borough Bronx, Transit, as well as TD11 and 12. Commuters want to feel safe. Many of them are working class people. They leave early morning and they see a lot of activity. They just want to be safe. And the fact that there are too many individuals that enter our subway system that are armed with weapons, knives, and other weapons is really concerning. The presence of cops is great, but that is not going to stop the issues that we're still confronting. We have to have a total comprehensive plan when it comes to mental illness, mental health, and all-around wraparound services for New Yorkers.
I think a lot of riders are also wondering if anyone, who's policing the police, because they're even saying they're getting on the trains, they're not seeing these officers either on the platforms or on the train.
Yes, I've heard that as well. On many of our subway lines, the B and D and the 4 line as 6, we've heard that early morning hours they're not seeing them. But as I recall, the governor's announcement really focused on the evening, the 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. tour. And so I think we have to look at, a larger time frame where we do need to have police presence all day and evening.
We just wanted to also ask you about the fire that we just had.
Yes, of course, of course. So that happened early morning, January 10th, a full vacate on Wallace Avenue in the Allerton community. I am so annoyed and just so outraged by this whole process. And this is not my first fire I've dealt with. Obviously, Twin Parks 3 years ago where we lost 17 neighbors. Over 300 individuals have been displaced, including adults and children. Many of them have been relocated now to the HPD emergency housing system, which are apartment buildings that are shelters. Depending on your household size, you share a kitchen and bathroom. Single adults, they're in SROs, and that's because of the capacity that the city has today. I've expressed to them my concern about commercial hotels and expanding the time frame, which there's a cost. But we have seen a city where we've invested millions of dollars in the migrant population. Where is the priority for our New Yorkers and tenants that pay rent in buildings that are owned by known slumlords that are neglectful in providing heat and hot water? And so this building is a priority for me. We've identified a space on Allerton Avenue to provide just resources and support for the families, and we're not going to leave them. We also had another fire the week after on Heath Avenue in the Fordham Heights community, and that was also a full vacate. Smaller building, but we're helping families as well. A lot of this is just support, resources, access to care, mental health. Counseling is very important. Families are traumatized. Many of them are working. Their children go to school. So how do you do all of that and you're in a temporary location?
And if they need help, they can call
Oh,
your
absolutely.
office.
They can call our ombudsman unit has been troubleshooting 718-590-3500. They can always call our office, and we've been helping many tenants already.
All right, great to hear they're getting help.
Yes,
Most importantly.
absolutely.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.